Good day and welcome everyone, Stuart here from Northern Bolt & Tool, and this video is our last video of 2024 and what a year it has been. Thank you guys all for liking, subscribing and supporting us in every way possible. We really appreciate the reception that we've got from the community and all the support that we have got. It has been amazing and we're looking forward to bringing you more interesting videos in 2025. So we thought we'd do a little bit of a Q&A for you guys. The first question that we got through is, when are you guys doing a shop tour? And that is going to happen right now. As you can see, we're outside the shop in the car park. We're going to take you on a quick shop tour of our shop and show you guys what's inside, what the plans are, and what we are going to be doing in the future. So let's get going, let's have a look and see what's inside. How's it everyone? So getting into the shop tour, when you enter our store, you're greeted by our friendly security guard over here, MZ. MZ, say how's it to everyone?
Hey guys, how are you? How are you guys?
Yeah, MZ makes friends with all the customers. Always a friendly face to see, so come through and see MZ. These are normally outside, it's just near closing time now. We need to obviously sort out the stand over here, but coming through here, you can see we've got some rain jackets, various hardware items and that sort of thing. Up here it gets a little bit skinny, but yeah, we will be sorting all of this out going forward. Up here, we've got our Inco shop in a shop. It is quite the display. It looks almost like a showroom. Let's show you guys around the showroom here quick. So as you can see, various tools all merchandised nicely, all looking good. Plenty of stock up here. This isn't all our stock. We've still got a number of pallets down at the bottom, which we'll show you guys shortly where the balance of our stock is. We've got a TV screen. This setup is brand new, so we still need to get this up and running, and yeah, so we still need to move a few things around. We'll show you guys now what we are going to be changing in the new year. So coming down here, you can see the back of these boards. Doesn't look very good, but these will be going. So coming down here, we've got aircraft, Gav and Torcraft. You can see we've got a number of stands. They have been really good to us over the years and their products are all fantastic. So our plan for these stands over here is to take them all and move them down to the bottom down that side. In the place of Torcraft and Aircraft over here, we're going to have Wadfowl and Dekakila. They're the same brands that are brought in from the Inco, the guys that do Inco in South Africa. And we're going to leave the Inco shop and the shop as open as possible because it looks a little bit better. So coming down here, we've got our bolt counter and drill bits. In here we keep all our fasteners, imperial, metric, stainless steel, hot dip galvanized, high tensile fasteners, various nuts, nylock nuts, stover nuts, all of that sort of stuff, pop rivets, washers of various sizes. So plenty fasteners. If you need a fastener and we don't have it, you're going to really battle to find it, I can tell you that much. So coming down here, you can see it's getting towards the end of the year where stocks are starting to get a little bit low. You can see the balance of our Inco stock over here, and we've got some Dekakila over here. We might expand the number of stands. I think Jolene would be thrilled to hear us expanding the Dekakila range in our shop, but yeah, that's for the new year. Moving on to that side over there, we've got power tools, welding equipment, all of that sort of stuff over there. This wall on the left hand side of your screen here is looking a little bit bare, but like I said, that's going to be Torcraft, Aircraft and Gav, so that's what we're going to be putting in there. So this is pretty much our retail space over here, and yeah, that's our little shop. You can see it's quite extensive. If you guys would like to see more of the bolts, let us know and we can include that in a future video. Thank you very much guys. So guys, I hope you enjoyed our little shop tour. You can see we don't have the biggest of operations, but we do try our best to bring you guys everything that you could ever need in a single place and try and create that one-stop shop type of vibe. Let's get into the questions. If a power tool comes in a kit that includes two 2 Ah batteries and a charger, can we use a 4 Ah battery in the tool? Also, second part of the question, if the toolkit includes a 2 Ah battery and charger, can we charge a 4 Ah battery in the charger? I have multiple tools and have many batteries and chargers. Well, thank you very much for the question. The answer simply is yes. So you can use that 2 amp charger, which is the base model charger on all of the batteries. The charging rate is 2 amps. So on a 4 amp hour battery, for example, it'll take about 2 hours to charge. So the way you work it out, you take the amp hour of the battery divided by the amps of the charger, and that gives you an approximate charging time. So yes, all the chargers are compatible, it'll take longer. So for a 7.5 amp hour battery, you might want to use the 4 amp charger just because it's a larger battery and you want it to charge maybe a little bit quicker. But I mean, if you've got that base model charger, you can use it anyway. Same with the tools and the batteries. If your tool came with a 2 amp hour battery, you can slot in that 7.5 amp hour battery, not a problem at all. So everything is compatible. Just look for P20S. That entire platform is compatible with everything. So I hope that answers your question. Great question. Let's look at the next one. Do you guys sell blow mold cases separately? I bought a kit from you and it comes in a tool bag. The tools get all scratched up in the bag. So this is a little bit of an interesting one. The answer is yes and no. So I'll start off with the no. So the blow mold kits are not available from Inco. They do not sell blow mold cases separately. One of our competitors, however, did break up kits that came in a blow mold case, and he marketed and advertised those blow mold cases in the open market. Inco apparently got a lot of inquiries about these blow mold cases, but they are not available. With that said, we do sometimes break kits for stock and that sort of thing and those purposes. So once in a while we will have blow mold kits, or blow mold cases I should rather say, but it'll be for a very specific tool or battery. So we won't have like drills, grinders, whatever. It'll be maybe one blow mold kit for an impact wrench that came in a kit and we needed one impact wrench out as a tool only. Inco had stock at their warehouse. We didn't have stock on our floor. We made a plan for a customer and we broke the kit, if that makes sense. In that instance, we might have a blow mold case, but more often than not, we actually don't. We don't like to break it, to only do it when we absolutely have to. It just becomes a little bit of a stock management nightmare. So yes and no, I hope that answers your question. All right guys, next question. How good is the performance of the small 144mm cordless circular saw that Inco sells, and is the size useful or too small? And are there large cut-off saws comparable to other established brands? If you could please do a video on both these topics, it would be very helpful. Thank you. Well, I mean, I think you answered my question in your question. We need to test them and see how they compare. And yeah, we will bring you these types of videos going into 2025. From our experience, we've sold plenty of the 140mm cut-off saw. We haven't had any complaints or anything like that with regard to its size or anything related to usability. So I'm assuming from the fact that we haven't had any complaints that the market is generally quite happy with the size and usefulness of the tool. With regard to the cut-off saw, I know Inco go to great lengths to make sure that their tools performances are comparable or better than competitors at a much better price. I'm pretty sure that that will be comparable in terms of performance, but again, we need to do some testing and some back-to-back testing and see exactly how they compare, and we can go from there and draw some conclusions. So those videos will hopefully be coming in 2025 and we can maybe better answer your question then. Thank you. On to the next one. Next question. In your opinion, what do you think is the future for Inco as well as other brands that fall under Inco? As I know there are a few such as Total, which is basically the same as Inco. Do you think they'll bring out larger and more powerful cordless tools as well as a 40 volt range? All right, great question. Right off the bat, there are already tools in the 40 volt range, stuff like chainsaws, lawnmowers, and there's a few other 40 volt items that are already available. In terms of the future of the brands, I think in developing countries, the future is very, very strong for these brands. They offer a really good quality tool at a really compelling price, where in developing countries, a lot of the time, guys are extremely price sensitive, including our market. We see it all the time. Very, very price sensitive, but also want quality. So other brands that maybe offer the price, but don't offer the quality, those brands we've seen suffer in recent times. And Inco has definitely taken some of the market away from those guys, as well as some of the more popular and higher end brands, the more legacy type of brands. We've also seen Inco eating into their markets, especially where guys are buying tools for their teams and that sort of thing. They are happy with the performance and lifespan that Inco provides, but the price point, they can buy like 2 or 3 Incos for the equivalent in those more legacy premium type of brands. So I think that the future is very, very bright for these brands, and as long as they keep making quality tools and they keep their price point competitive, I think it's going to be very, very tough to beat these brands. So I hope that answers your question. Let's get into the next one. All right, next question. Is there any news regarding a high torque impact wrench from Inco? I've got both the 500 Newton meter and 850 Newton meter, but there is still an odd bolt that the 850 cannot do, and I have to pull out my 1250 Newton meter pneumatic air impact wrench. Would love to buy an Inco high torque. All right, so I'm not 100% sure if they're going to be releasing a higher impact wrench than 850 in the near future. I do think that in time there definitely will be a higher torque impact wrench. In fact, you can make a bet on it. I'm 100% sure that sometime in the future there will be a higher torque impact wrench. When that will be, I'm not sure. Inco, we don't really get to hear much. I do ask a lot of questions from management from Inco South Africa, and sometimes they're able to provide info, sometimes they're not. And that just obviously is based on what they receive from China. So I'm not entirely sure, but subscribe to our newsletter, and whenever there's new launches and new products that come out, we notify all of our customers through our newsletter as well as on Facebook, our social media, and we tell everyone about the new product that's available. So if you want to stay up to date, I suggest just subscribing to our newsletter or something like that, and we will bring you that information as soon as it becomes available. I hope that helps. Obviously with a high torque impact wrench, that would be extremely popular, so we are looking forward to that, and yeah, as soon as it comes out, we'll let you guys know. On to the next question. Will Inco bring out a 285 Newton meter impact driver as a tool only? This is a question that we've been asked a lot, and I have gone to Inco management in South Africa and I have asked them, and I am told that there is one available that they want to bring in, but they don't know when the ETA is on it, when they're going to be bringing it in, when it's going to be available to the South African market. So in other markets it might already be freely available, but in South Africa not yet. But I am told that it is on its way. I just can't tell you exactly when. It might be 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, a year. I don't know. So it's quite a tough one, because we have customers that have wanted to buy the tool only, and they look at the kit and they say, well, I've got the battery and the chargers already, I don't really want that. And they've actually just backed off from the deal and not just like pretty much waiting in the wings to see if a tool only becomes available. By the time this video comes out, they might be available. We don't know. Like I mentioned with the impact wrench, subscribe to our newsletter, and when these items become available, we let everyone know, and you can also be the first to own one of these tools when they get launched. So hope that answers your question. Let's go on to the next one. All right, next question. What are the plans for your channel in 2025? Well guys, I will tell you this much, that when we launched our channel and we started gaining a subscriber here and there, we were on about maybe 30 subscribers, and we made the goal for ourselves that we wanted to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. As you can see, we have absolutely smashed that, and yeah, I cannot tell you how grateful I am to you guys for enjoying our channel and enjoying our content and engaging and subscribing. It really, really does mean a lot. We've put ourselves out there and the response has been fantastic, so thank you guys all so much. With regard to 2025, I think a nice goal would be to try and hit 10,000. It's 4 times the size of our current channel size. We're on approximately 2,500 subscribers. Let's see if we can get to 10,000. In terms of content, we want to bring more comparison type videos, more list type videos, and just a more nice testing, in-depth testing and reviews of each tool. So it just improves the experience that our viewers have of the channel, of the tools, and enables people to make a better buying decision, which is what we want at the end of the day. We don't want unhappy customers, and when we can say we back this tool, this is the video, go and watch it, this is the performance, this is what you can expect, it just makes the whole process a lot easier for everyone, because no one is left wondering if the salesman is talking a lot of rubbish, or are they just trying to make the sale, or whatever the case may be. So we want to do that. We want to bring you guys the best content, and we want to also bring in maybe a few other brands as well, and compare, especially compare legacy brands with certain tool types to what we've got with Inco and some of the other brands. So stay tuned for that, and we're hoping that 2025 is a prosperous one for the channel. But thank you guys all for all your support in 2024. Next question, and this is one that a lot of people have asked. When are you going to review the Inco 850 Newton meter impact wrench? I can't wait to see it in action. Well guys, we couldn't either. So we set up our little rig over here and we started testing, and we noticed that righty-tighty became righty-loosey. So yeah, it basically stripped the threads. So we need to redesign our little rig over here. We need to either use bigger fasteners, but I think it would be better if we just redesign the whole testing of impact wrenches and move away from this particular rig and just bring something that's a little bit more reliable. There's a lot of great YouTubers out there with great rigs and great answers to this problem. Talk Test channel is one of my personal favorites. I know a lot of you guys also watch that channel, so we really enjoy that. And if anyone has any tips or ideas for us, we opened it. Obviously our channel is still very small and our budget is quite tight, so we're looking for budget friendly solution for us to be able to test these impact wrenches. So yeah, as soon as we've got something that can handle the power of that impact wrench, we will bring you that content, and maybe we'll do a whole comparison of the whole range from Inco, the 300, 400, 500 and 850. We also want to test the nut busting feature. We have had some information come to light that the nut busting feature doesn't actually increase the torque as a lot of manufacturers claim, but it's just to help you remove or loosen nuts where you don't want to remove the whole nut. If you just want to loosen nuts and make the part loose before you take the nuts off and the parts off. So that's the application that a lot of people are telling us it's for. So we'd like to just test and see if it does actually boost the torque like a lot of manufacturers claim, or if it's just a function to loosen the nuts and not remove the nut completely. So yeah, hopefully in 2025 we'll bring you that. I think it'll be a very interesting one, and the 850 Newton meter machine is significantly stronger than the others, I can tell you that much. And yeah, it is quite an impressive machine from what we have seen and tested. So yeah, stay tuned for that guys, and as soon as it comes out we will communicate that on our social media platforms as well as our newsletter. All right, next question. Inco or Total? So this is a little bit of a controversial one for South Africa specifically. So depending on who you ask, they are compatible, they're not compatible. So while they technically are compatible in South Africa, they maybe aren't compatible, and it's not for the reasons you may think. The reason why it is not compatible, according to Inco and Total, both sides, is because they are different sides. There's an importer for Inco and there are multiple importers for Total. So the guys from Inco don't want to service tools that have been using Total batteries because they want to sell you the entire platform, and likewise with the Total guys. The Total guys are even more pedantic. They will write down all the part numbers for the machines that they sell you, and they will not service a machine that hasn't come through them. So if you are looking to buy a tool in South Africa and you're not sure between Total or Inco, I would recommend going with Inco, because if you buy an Inco from me and you're down in Cape Town, you can still take it to your Inco dealer in Cape Town and get it serviced, repaired, whatever the story is with that. Whereas if you buy a Total, it has to go back to either the retailer that sold it to you, or it has to go back to the wholesaler that retailer bought it from. So it can get a little bit tricky. Also, Inco have told us that if you have an Inco cordless tool and use a Total battery on it, they will void the warranty. Now, the guys from Inco that have been bringing Inco into South Africa have also brought in WADFile, and they've told us that is freely compatible. No warranties will be voided. They are the same platform. The batteries are actually the same price. The WADFile stuff does come in a little bit cheaper than the Inco. We've been told that the WADFile uses the pre-Super Inco technology, but we've seen that the WADFile stuff has got some of the latest tech in it as well. So that's another thing we'd like to test, is WADFile versus Inco and versus Total, and see. We have had a few questions around Total and about performance between Inco and Total. Some guys say that the Total isn't as good as the Inco, but we haven't actually done testing back to back, so we cannot say whether that is the case or not. But with that said, I think a little bit of testing is in order, and if that's some content that you'd like to see, guys, please subscribe and like the video. Alright guys, next question. What was your most embarrassing moment of 2024? Well, I can tell you right now that you guys didn't actually see this because we were filming. We made fantastic video, nailed the script, nailed everything. Everything was like perfect, got everything 100% right. When I went to turn off my sound little receiver or sender, I noticed that the light was off, and we had filmed approximately 20 to 30 minutes of footage with no sound whatsoever. And yeah, that was super embarrassing and frustrating all in one. But yeah, anyway, now we have PTSD. Whenever we finish a shoot, we quickly check to make sure that the thing is still on, even though we charge everything. Yeah, it's strange how something like that can affect you. But yeah, that was super embarrassing and awkward. And yeah, there you go. That's our embarrassing moment of 2024. Alright guys, this brings us to our last question. Which tool surprised you the most, and which tool did you have the most fun reviewing? So I can tell you right now, in terms of the tools that were the most fun to review, there's 2 honorable mentions, and there's one that stands head and shoulders above the rest. The honorable mentions are the recip saw where we cut through a pallet. That was very cool and interesting to see, and I particularly enjoyed that. And the pruning shear, another honorable mention. That thing is just, oh, it's so much fun to use. I would recommend you guys trying it out. It's when you look at it, it's like such an ominous tool. Like you're almost tempted to put your finger in to see if it would cut it off. I'm pretty sure that it would, so please don't do that. But like cutting branches and stuff, it's a lot of fun to use, and yeah, that was a lot of fun to test. But by far, the most fun tool to test was the corded rotary hammer drill, specifically the chiseling function where we chiseled the block of concrete. We didn't realize how powerful it was going to be, and it sent like little bits of concrete flying all through our studio. We were covered in dust, the floor was filthy dirty, but it was a lot of fun. I don't know, there's just something about chiseling into a piece of hard concrete that I really enjoyed it. So yeah, I recommend trying it if you ever get the opportunity. If you work with that stuff every day, I'm sure it's kind of boring or normal for you guys, but for someone who hasn't done it before or doesn't do it very often, it was a lot of fun. In terms of the tool that surprised me the most, there's actually a few, and we're going to look at some honorable mentions. The first one being the 66 Newton meter impact drill from Inco. The outgoing model is the 60, they brought in the 66. The 60 compared to the brushless DeWalt, it falls just ever so slightly short. The 66 came in, it was way more than 10% better performance than the 60 Newton meter, and it equaled and slightly actually bettered the performance of the DeWalt in some areas. At a third of the price, very surprising and impressive from that particular tool. Another honorable mention is the 400 Newton meter impact wrench from Inco. And this was surprising because of the proximity of performance compared to the 500 Newton meter impact wrench. They were very similar, maybe a little bit too close for comfort for Inco, but that was also quite surprising and quite interesting to see. The most surprising tool that we had this year though was when we were doing our impact wrench testing, and that was the Torcraft model where it won the loosening test. We did not expect it to dominate that test, but it did, and that was super surprising to us. And yeah, we'd just like to say well done to Torcraft for building a proper impact wrench that's very powerful and able to loosen the nut where others couldn't. So well done there, you guys deserve that one. In terms of surprising for the wrong reason, it has to go to the brushed Bosch drill. We picked up a lot of heat for using that brush drill, but the reason why we used it was because the price point of that drill was the same as the Inco. So we had a price comparison going, as well as a like-for-like spec comparison going with the brushless DeWalt. And my takeaway from that test, and if you take nothing away from this video other than this, please guys, do not buy a brushed Bosch drill. I know Bosch makes some fantastic products and their brushless drills are fantastic. They are a premium, but they are still good. But do not touch their brush drills. They are terrible, and you can get a lot better elsewhere for the same money. So if you're going to buy a Bosch drill, brushless, otherwise don't bother. That's where I'm going to leave that one. There you go, guys. Thank you all very much for watching. We've really enjoyed this year. It's been a massive learning curve. We made plenty of mistakes. We've learned a lot, but every video we try and make a little bit better than the last. And yeah, we have learned so much from what we've tested here, as well as all the people that have commented on our videos, given us some good criticism, as well as some advice and tips, that sort of thing. So yeah, we really appreciate everything you guys have done for us, liking, subscribing, all of that stuff. It has been absolutely fantastic, and we are enjoying this journey so much. My brother Jono, editor John, he's been doing all the editing for the videos. He's doing a fantastic job there, and it's just the two of us, and we put together these videos for you guys, and we're so glad that people are responding positively and enjoying them. So thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed our little Q&A, and I hope you've seen a little bit of us and our shop and what we get up to here. Feel free to pop in, say hi, come and check out our shop, all of those sort of things. As always, the link to our e-commerce store will be in the description below, as well as our physical address. With regard to our e-commerce store, there are some fantastic changes on the horizon, so stay tuned for that. We're really excited about the changes that are coming, and we'll communicate that when that happens. So thank you guys all very much for watching. Hope you have a blessed festive season, and I'll see you in January next year. Thank you very much.